Okay, round one at Roland Garros is in the books, and the big storyline is Daniil Medvedev is no more. He has crashed out of Roland Garros 2023, along with Felix Auger-Aliassime, another top 10 power rankings guy that I had. So those are kind of the big losses on the men's side, and there was a lot of seeds that fell in the women's in round one. So we're going to do the round one roundup here on the slice to really get our day-to-day, day-in, day-out coverage of the French Open 2023 started. So let's get into it. Here's the slice, and thanks for being here. All right, wild result. Is it wild though? All I know is it's Sabuth wild. Thiago with the, I guess, huge upset, but isn't it all weird to think should you be surprised about Daniil Medvedev losing at French Open last year? Definitely not. This year, I guess so, because he just won Rome, beating Zverev, Tsitsipas, and Runa, which is very hard to do. So he was playing great clay court tennis. And then he comes out here and loses in the first round. He said he's happy to be off clay. It's still the case, but obviously a tough first round loss there for Medvedev. So that's that. Before we get into it, quick shout out to our sponsors. Official sportsbook of the slice is CoolBet. If you're going to play, stay cool, bet responsibly. Use CoolBet. One of the odds that they've just put out is for Canadian Denis Shapovalov to reach the quarterfinals in the tournament. Yes, 5.25. No, 1.13. Mind you, he would have to beat Carlos Alcaraz to get there. So those odds, I think, are accurate, but let me know your thoughts on those. And also, another sponsor of ours, AG1. Drink AG1 like I do every morning. It's the easiest way for me to get nutrition in my body. First thing, it's like a daily habit routine. Easy. It tastes good, about as good as a drink that's full of that many nutrients could taste. And it's just an easy way to be an elite athlete like I am. So if you want to grab or try AG1, there's a unique offer through the link below. Click that link and you support the show and you support your health. So round one in the books at the Roland Garros. We're on clay. Runa's through. Djokovic is through. Alcaraz is through. Sinner's through. Stefanos is through. Iga Swiatek is through. A lot of the big names are through. Let's not be remiss. Most of the matches went through. The big players are still in there. Daniil Medvedev, was he ever really a threat to win? I don't think so. Let's just be honest here. Where did I have him in my ranking? I think he was like number 6 or 7. Some people criticize me for not having him higher in the rankings. You know who you are. And I didn't really have confidence that he would do much at Roland Garros. So, and that turns out to be the case. So, wasn't able to watch the match, obviously, but Sabuth Wild comes through. And yeah, this guy's kind of just been randomly, he had a huge, he's a big potential star, part of the next gen crew. He got married and abused his wife. And there's all that going on. So his tennis kind of took a back seat. He got asked about it, didn't like that in his presser today. But he's back with a huge upset over the number 2 seed, world number 2, Daniil Medvedev. The other player who crashed out was Felix Auger-Aliassime, our guy. Unfortunately, Felix lost for Canadian fans. Apparently, he was sick. He basically had the flu. He was having diarrhea. TBI, too much, TMI, too many. What is that? I don't know too much information, TMI. But anyways, when you have diarrhea, it dehydrates you, and then you start cramping. So that's basically what happened. It's like a double whammy, a double gut punch. So Felix was cramping because he was dehydrated and couldn't get the win. Therefore, he's also playing Fabio Fognini, who is in the last 3 years, in the last 5 years, he's won a Masters. He's a great player. So it's a tough player to go against, obviously, but not the result he was looking for. Let's dive into all the results here. Why don't I pull it up on my screen? Let's just go through the whole men's side of the draw and see what happens. So Alcaraz is through. Kaboli, no issues to play Taro Daniel in the next round. Arnaldi is through Gilan to play Shapovalov, who came through Nakashima in 5 sets. So that's a big win for Denis Shapovalov. His confidence, I feel, is holding on by a thread, but he's battling now for every win, and every win feels big, which is kind of a sad place to be. But alas, that's where we are. Lorenzo Musetti, no issues there. 3 sets over Michael Imer. He'll play Shevchenko. Luca Puy, huge win for the Frenchman, who is apparently in a very dark place, but the French crowd has willed him through. He will play Cam Norrie next, who had to come back in a tricky, obviously, French affair with Benoit Paire. I wish I had watched that match. Britain versus France, just straight up. 5 sets, goes Cam Norrie's way. Like we said, FAA goes down to 3. Fognini was not physically really there. Kubler comes through. Offner comes through over Cressy. Sebastian Korda wins, gets a win. He's been out. He hasn't played that much. Diego Schwartzman comes down from 2 sets to love. Who is really, talk about someone who's really fallen off. Diego Schwartzman is through. Big win for him. He talked about retiring. What? It was like 2 years ago that he was beating Nadal on clay. I don't even know what's happened with him. Nino Borges beats John Isner in 5 sets. Carballes Baena through. Tsitsipas through Vesely, dropping 1 set. Tsitsipas got a soft little bit there. Soft little section until he could play Alcaraz in the quarters. So he should be able to get to the quarters for sure. Djokovic through Kovacevic, had to play a tiebreaker. He'll play Fucsovics next. Van Ash, who's been playing great, chops up Cecchinato 6-1, 6-1, 6-3. He'll play ADF, Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, pronouncing everything explicitly well today. Roberto Bautista Agut, 7-6, 6-1, 6-1 over Wibing Yu. And Varilas over Shang. Greek Sport through. Hurkacz over Goffin in 5 sets. Why does that seem like such a classic result? Karen Khachanov through. Patrick Kipson lose. It was wild card. I think it was that's an interesting wild card. I think that might be like a reverse one from the U.S. Radu Albert beats him, gets a win. Stan Wawrinka 5 sets over Ramos Vinolas to play Thanasi Kokkinakis, who beats Dan Evans in 3 sets. Ben Shelton loses to Lorenzo Sonego. Hugo Humbert gets a win, much needed win. Corentin Moutet wins. He'll play Andrei Rublev, who comes through in 4. Holger Rune comes in 4 over Eubanks. Gael Monfils, which is another story. La Monf Magic. Are you kidding me? Did you see that? Just absolutely digs in and refuses to lose. Again, gets the French crowd behind him and pulls out an amazing win. Just, you got to love the guy. You got to love the guy. There's nothing else to say, but it's going to be hard for the La Monf Magic to continue past Holger Rune, who's a beast and who's now, with Medvedev out, is maybe the favorite to come out of the bottom into the final. Him or Rude, but right now with their form, I'm picking Holger Rune all day long. Olivieri, Vavasori, Sarundalo, Hanfman, Rinderknech to play Taylor Fritz. Tommy Paul, friend of the show, beats Dominic Stripker. He'll play Nicolas Yari, who won in Geneva last week, or at the beginning of this week, basically. Marcus Giron through. Lehechka beats Struff. Is that an upset? I don't really know. Botic van de Zandschulp out to Tirante. Zhang over Lajovic, who retired, unfortunately. Sapieri over Bublik. Casper Ruud wins in 3 sets versus L.A. Zimmer. Yannick Sinner wins in 3 sets. Altmaier over Husler. Rusevoiri over in 5 sets over Barrere. Dimitrov keeps the good form rolling. Zverev gets a win, a much-needed win. He'll play Mokan in the second round. Karatsev gets a win to play TFO in the second round. Borna Coric wins. Dominic Thiem can't get it done versus Pablo Kachin. He can't do it. Win on second serve, 52%. Win on first serve, 59%. Not high enough. Not high enough on the first serve there. That's disappointing to see. Jack Draper has to retire. Demonauer wins. Nishioka beats Wolf. Purcell gets through. Pela gets through. And Thiago Seyboth Wild beats Daniil Medvedev in 5. So that is a wrap up of the men's draw. Let's go to the women's draw. We're just going to run through this as well. Lots of upsets here, not to be had for Swiatek. Gives out a bagel, first one of the Roland Garros campaign. Many more to come. Liu through. We're just going to look at the upsets. Bukova out to Wang. Azarenka out to our girl, Bianca Andreescu. I watched that match. That was a super impressive performance from Bianca. Takes the ball early, as she always does, plays super aggressive. That was a very bang-bang match. Both players playing big, but Bianca just stepped up, kept the pressure on, didn't really wilt from down 6-2, 3-1. She came back to win 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. So that's a great win for Bianca Andreescu. Krejcikova out to Serenko. Kudermetova, the 11th seed, out to Schmidlova. Big losses here for seeds. Madison Keys through. Anya Kalina loses to Diane Perry. Coco Gauff through. Elena Rybakina through. Number 32 seed, Selby Rogers out. Rebecca Marino lost to Danielle Schneider. Haddad Maya through. Petra Kvitova, number 10 seed, out. Kontaveit, no longer seeds, out. Sonia Christia, out. Ons Jabeur through. Another top 10er, though. Maria Sakkari, out in the first round to Mukova. That's a tough first round opponent. Don't really know how that happened, but the Czech flag flies. Magna Linette out to another Canadian, Leylah Fernandez, who gets a confidence win. She'll play Clara Toussaint, who to qualify next. Little area of opportunity there for Fernandez, if you ask me. Bencic also out, another seed down. Samsonova through 0-1. Big win there. Which other seeds lost? Jess Pegula through. Garcia through. Trevisan, number 26, out. Carolina Pliskova out to Sloane Stevens. Can't really blame her there. I guess former Grand Slam champion coming back into some form potentially. 28, 9 seed, Zhang out. And Sabalenka is through in a heated match versus Marta Kostyuk. Will not comment on the politics, which Djokovic got involved in, Kostyuk got involved in, reporters got involved in, and Sabalenka kind of said, you know what are we talking about here? This is crazy. So I'm not going to touch on any more on the politics, but no politics to be had with Daniil Medvedev losing to Sabouth Wild. That's a roundup of round one. What was the craziest thing that happened to you? To me, there's always going to be things that go down. This is a look at my top 10 power rankings for the men. We've got Daniil Medvedev out. We've got Felix Auger-Aliasssime out. The rest in round one. So that's not good, I guess. I guess that's not good for my top 10 power rankings, but everyone else is still in. Not too many huge storylines so far out of round one. That's the normal carnage that will always happen. Players are going to lose, but I'm happy to be started into here in Roland Garros. Thanks for being here. Stay tuned tomorrow for another update on the first matches of round two. Djokovic in action, Alcaraz in action. It's going to be good. Click the links below to check out AG1 and CoolBet. Shout out to their sponsors. Thanks for being here. We'll see you